to another exciting episode of Naukriya Guftagu, an intellect talk with industry mentors. Today, we are fortunate to have Mr. Swapnil Joshi, who will be sharing insights on a topic crucial to every career: do's and don'ts in an interview. Swapnil is a seasoned professional with over 2 decades of experience in strategic management and operational leadership. Currently the Vice President of Customer Success and Support at DB Sync Avankia Software. Swapnil is on a mission to deliver world-class support and exceptional client experiences. A distinguished alumnus of IIM Kolkata, Swapnil's academic prowess is complemented by an MBA in IT and a doctorate in management. Welcome, Mr. Swapnil Joshi. So let us start with the first question, Swapnil. With your extensive leadership experience, what do you consider which is the most crucial factor for candidates in an interview, especially those aiming for the leadership roles?
So, by and large, if somebody is looking at leadership roles, the most crucial factor, I think, is effective communication skills and his ability to take decisions. And one more very important point is emotional intelligence, or we say EQ these days. That is one of the most important aspects these days for becoming a leader, because that is what is not in abundance. And that I think is very important for anyone who is looking for a leadership role.
Wonderful, wonderful. Emotional quotient is really very important, which is nowadays like a focus of all the recruiters, because as an employer I also understand that the people who are having technical skills but they are not emotionally compatible, it's really very difficult for us to train them to, and for them also it's really difficult to adapt.
Exactly. Right.
So from your perspective, Swapnil, what common pitfalls have you observed in candidates during interviews, particularly in the tech and engineering industry?
Um, Particularly in tech and engineering industry, as I've been over 2 decades in the same industry here, I see a lot of time candidates claim that they have certain technical knowledge, but they are not able to answer those. So they'll have to prepare a lot for these things. Lack of technical knowledge being the one. Second is whatever knowledge you have, unless and until you are able to communicate it clearly to the interviewer, or the hiring manager, or the HR,
Right.
you'll not be hired. You'll have to communicate clearly, so you'll have to work on that as well. Also, these days, one more important thing is taken at a hike or a hype, but not very much worked on, is problem solving skills. So interviewer can ask certain questions for the same, but the candidate should be able to give an adequate answer on how he or she has solved the problem in the past. And by and large, people give, mainly the freshers, give interviews without studying which company they are approaching to. They'll have to study the company in background. What does the company do? What is the product? How the company works? What is the culture, and so on and so forth. Also, one has to work on soft skills. I mean, it's a part of communication, but its majority is soft skills. And while in the interview, the body language misses a lot, because what we talk today, what we speak, it's not more than 10 to 20% of what we speak. It's the body language which talks and says what you want to do. That would be all kind of pitfalls what I see overall.
Great, great. So in a nutshell, you have updated us about all the different factors which are involved for an effective communication.
Absolutely.
So, Swapnil, since you have got a great leadership experience as a seasoned leader, what advice would you give to candidates regarding effective storytelling during the interviews to highlight their achievements and skills very effectively?
Yeah. So storytelling these days is not looked at as a trait or a characteristic while preparing for an interview. Candidates fail to put what they have done in a story. And as human beings, everyone likes stories. So, and there is a method, I mean, proven method. There are many, but you can choose your own. But I would rather say go for the STAR method, right? So, STAR method is situation, task, action, and result. Right. So, in that also, you need to focus on action more. What did you do to get you out of that situation, from the task to the results? Use speak about the results, but that should be at the end saying that all worked well and these were the results. Put the numbers in it. What percentage? Rather than and the numbers, when I say if it is a currency value, what dollar amount did you save, or what dollar amount did you help the company to earn? Highlight the challenges as well and showcase your skills in this. All this storytelling should also be, again, the company background is also important. Get to the company's values. For example, if the company value is in automation, that's their main goal. They want to automate things. So build your story around automation and put that, company's value from automation perspective. That is where they'll resonate and they'll say that, yes, this is the person. Right. I think these skills, if somebody has adopted and in their storytelling, that would be great.
It's really important. I agree completely on this. Like you have to check and research the company's value system, about the company, and then try to align your value system with that. Yeah, wonderful answer. So, Swapnil, in the realm of customer success and support, how do you assess a candidate's ability to align with the organization's values, and why is this alignment crucial? Like as you said in your previous answer, so how can you please elaborate on this a little bit more?
So, a company will have certain kind of culture of working, certain kind of way of doing things. And by and large, if you ask about customer success or customer support, what the word comes first? Customer. So candidate has to put the customer first, talk from a customer's perspective, be customer's advocate, and say that this is what my customer is facing issue. Can we work on this? Can we improve the product, or can we do something else? Can we do, if there is a call center and somebody is picking the call, the hold music is not good. And if somebody has told, it's a simple thing for IT thing to do, put some good music in there. They like it, right? And keeping all this in mind, how to gauge a person, whether he is culturally fit or not, ask behavioral questions from the interviewer perspective and prepare for those behavioral questions. Say something like scenario-based. If you are facing some issue, what did you do in it? And by which we can align to what the culture of a company is. And I think it's most crucial if somebody is not culturally fit. The problem is he or she will join the company but not stay for a longer time. Exactly. And a study has proved and mentioned that by and large, the expense what company has, apart from the employee salary and the tools what they use, the third most expensive is hiring. Right? We spend a lot on hiring.
That's true.
And that can be avoided if somebody stays for a longer time. Right?
Right. So commitment is totally based on the value system.
Correct.
That's right. So in your previous experience, Swapnil, are there any instances where candidates got misunderstood or misinterpreted? They are not able to get clarity on any kind of questions, during an interview. And that is also part of the effective communication. If you are not able to understand, or if you're not able to, practice active listening. So in that case, how their overall performance, even in their job or during their interviews, how it impacted?
Absolutely. So here another form of soft skills comes into picture, which is listening. And there are various types of listening. By and large, it is active, selective, and effective. So I would rather focus on effective listening rather than, whenever a question is asked, people start thinking of what should I respond. Stop doing that. Just understand the question. And once the question is understood, then reply to it with, gathered knowledge. If you have not understood, please ask again. Interviewer will be more than happy to elaborate the question or put it into layman's words or give an example. By and large, I see few candidates have misunderstood the question. But after taking a lot of interviews now, I kind of stop them there and explain myself so that the candidate understands what I'm asking and answers in the relevant fashion itself. Otherwise, it's waste of a time. I'm asking X and he's answering for a Y, right? So I think effective listening is what one should cultivate. and asking questions.
Exactly. During their performance in the workplace, also it's really very important. I just love the concept of the active, effective, and selective listening. Wonderful, wonderful. So, Swapnil, how can candidates demonstrate their commitment? Since it's a theme is like interview, so that's why I'm asking questions from the interview part. How can candidates demonstrate their commitment to ongoing learning and development during the interview process? And why is this important in the tech and engineering sectors, especially?
Okay, so as you know, what we learned 10 years back is irrelevant today. And what I learned when I started as a software engineer 20, 22 years back is completely irrelevant today. When I say irrelevant, the basic foundation is the same, but the UI and everything has changed. It's a lot more automotive right now, right? So by and large, if you see, when I started coding early 2001, 2002, we used to write the entire code in detail. If there is one spelling mistake, it's gone. So if I hadn't had upscaled myself to the newer technologies, I wouldn't have been here. So keeping in mind from a candidate's perspective, now AI and ML have taken over a few of our day-to-day tasks. So you'll have to make sure you accept and adapt to the changes in the technologies, not just adapt, make sure you are aware of those. These days, learning things is not very difficult as we had past 2 decades back. YouTube gives you a lot of things. There are various educational sites where you can subscribe for trainings, less than $500 per training. Go ahead, do those things. Now, when you talk about commitment, the interviewer will not understand your commitment towards learning or staying with the company or anything unless you give them an example. So give them a relevant example in the past that in 2018 this happened, I learned this, and so on and so forth. That's when they'll understand and resonate. Yes, okay, so this had come there and we took it up. Okay, great. So that's how you can make sure that you are getting into that learning mode. And we'll have to, being in IT, I think we'll have to learn every single day.
That's true.
Otherwise, you're not there as a top notch.
Actually, right. So, Swapnil, you have got a very vast experience and you are a certified ITIL expert, Six Sigma Black Belt. I must say it's a very impressive profile and also PMP certified. So, how do these certifications contribute to your confidence in hiring decisions? And do you have any advice for candidates pursuing similar certifications? And what do you would you like to give some career clarity? Like, how can they plan their career?
Absolutely. So, question is of 2 parts, so I'll answer it in 2 parts. After having these certifications, let me tell you, it's actually very much good for an interviewer to gauge the candidates. So, for example, as I've done PMP, I can ask PMP related questions to a PMP certified person. And he'll also feel confident that I have been asked these questions by a PMP certified as well. And he has to travel from a normal interview perspective to a PMP student mode to answer those. And that's when I understand how much has he gained the knowledge. Now, same goes with Six Sigma, same goes with ITI. I did these certifications at least 2 to 3 years gap. Because I was doing those projects, I had to do it. Now, from a career perspective, suggestion for the candidates or what certificate you want to do, decide on what you're doing and what projects you are handling. It's not just a certification. So, for example, people get into things like, once I do a PMP, I'll be hired as a project manager immediately next day. That's not going to. There are thousands and thousands of people who are doing PMP every single day, right?
Right.
So you'll have to probably you'll have to join as a junior person in a project management environment. Join there, take some experience, live hands-on experience, and then do the PMP, and then work on few projects again. That will give you more clarity. Just doing the certification, I'm not saying it's easy. It's difficult. You'll have to get into that student mode, learn for 2-3 months, make sure you're updated with all the take some mock tests and then pass. But before that also, if you have to come one step ahead, after doing that certification, how much have you implemented the knowledge in your job? That is
So,
very important. That will give you an edge over all the other certified people. Because once you're certified, your competition is with the certified people, right?
that's true.
So the edge is your experience on those particular certifications, what you have learned, methodologies, what you have learned, the project skills, what you have learned from a Six Sigma perspective, how have you improvised the quality, and so on and so forth. So I
Right.
think this would be my suggestion for the candidates.
Yeah, it's really important to have a vision, have a vision for a longer goal, but yeah, set milestones according to your present situation. What are you doing, and what is your nearest milestone?
Correct.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Swapnil. So let's go with the rapid fire round. The first question is your go-to interview question to assess a candidate's problem-solving skills.
Problem solving skills, asking for a scenario, what was the problem, what did you do to solve it, and so on and so forth. So not all might have faced a problem, so the answer will tell you that whether he has actually done it or not.
So the star format is the best format. Yeah. So second question is a book or resource you recommend for candidates preparing for leadership interviews.
I think Start with Why will be one of the best books to start if you're getting into leadership. Simon Sinek, you'll get it online. So start with Why.
Yeah. Great. A trait or quality you value the most when hiring for customer success and support roles.
Customer success and support role. Prime first quality, empathy. Don't have empathy for the clients, you are not good for customer support skills. Second is effective communication skills. And third, I would look, which is a trainable activity, which is problem solving skills.
Right. One piece of advice for candidates facing a technical interview for the first time.
Oh, one word, prepare.
Great. A mistake you see candidates making repeatedly during interviews.
Don't ask questions.
Yeah, great. Your proper interview setting, structured panel or informal one-to-one?
Good with everything, depends on what candidate we are hiring. If it is a technical round, multiple suits, but by and large, I prefer one-on-one.
Great. The top soft skill you believe every candidate should possess?
I don't know how we put it in soft skills, but body language.
Nice. The best closing statement or question you have heard from a candidate?
Statements can be many, but I would like to see, or I have seen candidates whom I have hired by and large they show confidence that they are already hired.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Swapnil. Thank you so much. It's been a great session and great meeting you. So looking forward for many more sessions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can choose various topics and I'll be happy to, plug in.
Sure.